It. Alrighty, folks. Welcome back to another session of our Princes of the Apocalypse. I'm your Dungeon Master, Dungeon Mister, joined by our magnanimous and fortuitous players this evening, including a brand new player to the game. Please welcome them.
Yay!
Yay! Welcome!
Welcome to the Thunderdome.
The Thunderdome, exactly. Exactly. Welcome to the Thunderdome, and hopefully it will be a long-lived time, and you will break out of the Thunderdome and take the Wasteland back. You guys are kind of in a wasteland-like area. But before we get into whatever's going to happen and meeting new people and all that jazz, let's talk a little bit about what happened last time before we get into what's gonna happen this time. So, last time, after you all spent the night in Feathergale Spire, it would seem Adun had some insights into these knights, that there was much more to them than met the eye. Not wanting to intervene too much, he met with Anthrin in the morning, who seemed to have a prospect at joining these knights and bringing honor to her heritage, as well as earning a good place amongst the nobles back home in Waterdeep. But this required possibly earning a mount by taming or getting an egg. Two known griffins were in the area. The other was possibly slaying the manticore's mate that you all had slain the night before, to prove herself, supposedly a much bigger and fearsome beast. You guys opted for the egg, led down to a narrow trail that eventually met with the canyon floor. Started your search for the griffin's roost along the walls of the canyon, encountering a small pack of gnolls near the river. Afterwards, had some respite by the waters. It was here Adun let on a good bit of why he was traveling all over, searching for a way to retrieve his lost love from wherever she ended up. Eventually, though, traveling some more, Baron found sign of griffins, a small and scattered trail of large feathers, hoping to belong to the creatures themselves. And after a fashion under the hot winds of the canyon, you discovered a small spring with a roost some 70 feet up along the canyon wall. The nest could barely be seen over the ledge. After a trying time climbing, Anthrin was actually the only one who could make it to the full height, thanks to the sacrifice of Han as well. And as she got up there, she saw two eggs within the nest here. Overlooking the others, a screech was let out from the skies, witnessing not one, but two full-grown griffins flying down towards their home at full speed. Grabbing both eggs, she jumped off from the cliff, but in a moment, both eggs were broken as she fell 70 feet down. Now face to face with these two griffins, they didn't seem to attack, but seemed more sad to have their eggs be destroyed and such. An apology and a long, tense few moments with these two griffins. Anthrin made a tough choice. Stay with the griffins, who seemed to almost accept her, while you all continue your quest in her stead. And with an upsetting time with the griffins, you all said your goodbyes to Anthrin and headed out of the area, so whatever could happen there happens. And that's where we're going to pick up. Still amongst the canyon floors, as high noon approaches, what are you four up to?
Well, I'd say we got to kind of catch our breath because we got the falls kind of tore us up a little bit.
As you see, Han is like definitely the most messed up after sacrificing his own climb for Anthrin previously.
Yes. I say we make our way over to the water, have some lunch, and figure out what we want to do.
A brief respite would be quite welcome.
Okay. You all start to head towards the waters to hopefully get a little bit of a breather. As you're Got to change the music. We're not in Air Prelude. We're in the arid foothills. As you guys are making your way towards the water, kind of almost just as you get to it, you can see, not see so much as hear some sort of commotion going on near it, kind of behind some rocks.
How far
Well, if
away?
we want to investigate, we don't want to take a short rest, do we, guys? Do we want to go check that out? Because I can.
Sounds like it's happening right now.
Okay, if that's the case, because I'm sure we're gonna go check this out. I'd like to use my healing hands.
I have already used it once.
My healing hands?
Used it on Han.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I used it on him. God dang.
We'll be fine.
You just didn't toggle it off. But you do hear some commotion going on over the noise of the babbling river. And the winds kind of howling down amongst you.
Baron kind of calls out, "Oi! What's that?"
As there's no calls back, you do hear the familiar noise of... sounds like growling. And maybe grunting.
Sound like a
Maybe grunting as well.
Well, I'll turn around and look at the group and be like, "Hey, can't be any worse than a couple of griffins. Let's go check it out."
Yeah, I'm up for it.
Well, now it could be a couple of gnolls, man, and I gotta say they fucked me up the last time we got too close. Should we maybe be a little bit more stealthy?
The mountain bows to no one, neither do I.
Okay, that didn't sound like a fucking
You hear
gnoll.
that in the distance, yeah.
Okay, that sounds like a person. Do we still want to be stealthy?
I say we rush in. Let's go check this
Yeah.
out.
Last time you got up there by yourself, you got fucked up.
Yeah, but that was by something that didn't speak common.
Let's just fucking go.
Let's go.
As you walk up to the space near, there's actually some trees growing in this space, so there is some shade. And kind of in the shade nearby the river, next to some foliage, you would see, looks to be 4 hyenas. And yeah, 2 gnolls kind of growling, circling the edge of the river. And behind what they're all encircling seems to be a lone dwarf swinging wildly a large hammer. As if you want to describe your character for us, Shad. As what do they see?
So they see this sleeveless, bald, beautifully bearded, worked through but well kept dwarf with a maul, an oversized maul just in his hand, who's about to bring a smackdown on the first thing that gets close enough.
And kind of barely able to keep the hyenas at bay. They are just staying out of arm's reach. But you can see, as you guys are approaching, they are about to strike. I'm going to bring you guys to a map. We're going to roll initiative.
All right.
I'm going to use uncanny metabolism.
Absolutely you are. That's what it's for.
Yeah. And it's a martial arts die plus my monk level. Let's do.
What is uncanny metabolism?
It is a monk thing that allows him to kind of get a short rest. He gets some hit points back, and he gets all of his monk shit back.
Yeah. Just give me 1 second. I'll roll that martial arts die in a second. Just have to get to it.
You
Oh,
probably
I
stick
accidentally
with
rolled
22.
twice. I didn't see it pop up the first time.
Yeah, we'll keep that 22. You can also change it as well, as it didn't pop up on your on the thing for some reason. Oh, I know why.
Nice. 16 hit points.
Oops.
I know why. There you go. And Han, we need you to roll initiative as well.
Okay.
These guys actually got a 19, while the hyenas got a 3.
Nice.
And Dune, you got a 23.
Yes.
22. Not that I
22?
really know.
Eh, close enough.
Yeah.
As you guys approach, Adun, you are up first in this combat.
Oh, I
could
gotta
tell?
Eldritch Blast these things. I think
Absolutely.
I walk in front of the group and I outstretch my hands and I just kind of yell out, "Monstrosities away from him!"
All right. What are you blasting?
The hyena.
Okay.
One of the hyenas.
Which one?
I'd say, well, they're all. Let's see, where am I? Right here. So I want to move out in front of the group, kind of off to the side a little bit. I'm going to attack the, because I got 30 feet on that.
Movement, yeah.
I'm going to attack the one to the right of the red one, the bottom right. Yeah, that one. Right
That one,
there.
gotcha. 21 will absolutely hit. As you're... Go ahead and describe your Eldritch Blast for this dwarf who's kind of barely keeping these creatures at bay, possibly.
So, my fingers or my hands go outstretched and just crackling of this darkish purple, like lightning starts coming up from my fingers, and I just outstretch to the hyena and let one rip.
Okay, as it lets it rip, 21 for sure hits. Roll some damage. For 7 points of damage, as you would just hear this as it lands to the ground, deaded.
Oh, nice.
Oh, you deaded it.
Yeah, you killed a hyena.
DED dead.
Yes, dead. Anything else for a dune?
Yeah, I'd like to. Where is my big guy? I need to run back a little bit, kind of tuck myself behind the boss man here.
Okay. Retreating back into formation.
Yep.
Anything else for a dune?
No, that will end my turn, sir.
All right, that will unfortunately take us to the gnolls, as one of them with his bone bow drawn, seeing the zap of lightning, will arch back and shoot out towards the dune with his bone bow.
But I'm behind. Well, I guess half my body's behind him.
Getting a 13 to hit a dune.
Yep. If it meets, it hits. Or how did that saying go?
If it meets, it
Beats
beats.
it, beats it.
Yep.
If it meets, it beats. Well, it hit.
As a dune, minimum damage. You take 2 points of piercing damage as the
I'll
arrow
take
kind of just grazes your shoulder. At which point, after hitting you, it growls and is going to rush towards you guys. Unfortunately, Han, you are there.
Nah, unfortunately for him, he doesn't know who he messed with.
Actually, I'll roll to see who it's going to go to. It is going to go to Han. And it's going to lash out, just jumping at you, claws bearing, getting a 15 to hit Han.
That hits, but I'd like to use deflection.
Absolutely, as you try to deflect its claws away from you. It did 4 points of damage, so you get to roll a d10 and add like 5 or 6 to it. So, using your reaction, you do deflect all of the attack as you just kind of push his hand away, deflecting his attack. The other gnoll, unaware that the hyena right next to it just met its fate, does rush forward to this dwarf, seeing almost like that's like a pistol gets shot, like that's it's go time. As it leaps forward, just you hear this incessant as it tries to rend into Bairn. Not Bairn. The other dwarf.
Yeah, you got two dwarfs to
You
deal
got
with.
two dwarfs now.
Uh-oh.
As it tries to rend into Shad, getting a 7 to hit.
Not a chance.
As it, you easily dodge past or just kind of push it away. At the same moment, you guys would see another gnoll pop up around the corner. It looked like it was just gnawing on something. Also has a bow drawn and is going to shoot towards a random person. It's going to shoot at Vic.
Fuck.
Who's just getting a 17 to hit you.
That hits.
As you take 4 points of piercing damage. I don't think it can move up. Keeping its bow drawn. Now here's the real kicker. You see a fourth gnoll leap up, also blood on its face from up here. Is going to shoot at one of you guys too, also having a bow drawn. Is going to shoot at the cornered dwarf. Getting a 12 to hit Shad.
No.
As arrow kind of gets stuck in the bush next to you, Shad. That will take us down to the south with Bairn Gimmershard. Bairn, what are you up to?
If I move to the right, is that just a hill or is that reduced
It's just a
movement?
hill. It's for fun. It just looks cool, right?
Okay.
It's,
Alright,
it's to
so-
give the map more flavor.
Okay, no, I appreciate it, but
Yeah,
I just
I
want to make
got you.
sure I can 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. We're going to go up there. And we are going to Sacred Flame this other hyena. The one to my right, the one next to the dead one.
Say we are getting a little bit of echo from Shad as well. Just a little bit. But yeah, as you launch, kind of sparks fly from your shield. The other hyena to the right? Is that what you said? Is it this one?
Yes, that one.
Gotcha. As the hyena flames shoot towards it, as it quickly kind of leaps out of the way and dodges. Got a 20.
Not surprised. All right, that'll be it for me.
All right, taking us to Vic.
All right. So we're just gonna hit that bonus action hunter's mark on the one right in front of Han.
Okay. Setting your sights.
Setting my sights, and then we're gonna. Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! I'll also click on the dreadful strike.
Okay. You want this? You want this to hurt? Should you hit
I
it?
do. Should I hit it? And we'll go ahead and move guy right up in there
Oh. Pulling the blades out. I gotcha.
on the blades out. We're gonna go ahead and take out that that good old trusty scimitar.
Taking the scimitar with the first strike. Give me that scimitar attack.
Oh god damn it!
Slashing across that same cursed experience you had with the gnolls last time. Scimitars miss.
And then we'll just go ahead and offhand that that +1 dagger.
All right, using the fancy dagger that makes no noise when it slices. 24
I swear to God,
will,
I love it.
will absolutely hit.
All right, so I've got them all. Click. Let me just make sure I have them clicked on. I have. There's marking drive strike clicked on. Roll that good old damage. Offhand. Boop.
For 14 points of damage, yeah. As you strike into him, this little bit of shadow kind of comes with it. But that is a good strike to this gnoll.
I'm standing right there next to Han.
All right. Side by side with Han, as you stab into the gnoll's gut, it barks and spits and slobbers in your face, taking us to Shad. Shad,
All right,
what are you up to?
that mistaken fellow who ran up on me. I'm gonna say, grind bone to gravel and yell and get real mad.
Okay.
Rage on, swinging for the fences.
Does your rage look like anything when it happens?
Like a little bit of energy aura comes up around me.
Okay.
My eyes and ears and nostrils have like smoke streak.
Fair enough.
There's a little divine hint to it.
Yeah, I gotcha. Let's go ahead and toggle on that rage, and that is your bonus action. You now have your action to do with what you want.
All right, let's see. It's all clicked. Rage. What? Rage. And it's going to be reckless.
Okay, as you're recklessly swinging this maul around, just whirling it, go ahead and roll that attack. 25 will absolutely hit it. For 22 points of damage, as you would see this arc of faint light shimmer out from his maul as he smacks into it for 22 points of damage. As it nearly, let's see if it topples it. It is knocked back a little bit, but it is not toppled. But you nearly kind of just cave this thing's chest in.
Ah.
But it is still up. Anything else for Shad? That's pretty much all you have left is movement if you want to move anywhere. Or
is this tree for
this
obstacle?
This is a bush. Yeah, it's kind of in a little bit of difficult terrain. The shaded areas are trees. Been trying to work on, like, you don't want to see the bush of the tree up top, so you can kind of see that stump of the trees.
All right, well then I'll stay right here as I see a mysterious person coming up who shot one of the dogs in front of me.
Fair enough. I will say we also are having a tiny audio issue on your end. Little echo. It also sounds like it's echoing your own. But something to look into. That will take us to Han.
Okay.
Han, you're up.
Sure, Han's gonna bonus action disengage.
Okay. You kind of roll away from this Noli Knoll.
Yep, right over here. Right, not right there, right here.
Backing up to the stump of the tree here. Good shade.
And Han, you'll see from his elbows down, suddenly just crackling ice and frost cover his hands. Using his elemental attunement. And then he, ending in like frost claws.
Okay.
And then he jabs it into the ground, and like icicles come up in a straight line straight towards the knoll.
Absolutely.
Dude, that's sick.
Give me those icicle attacks against this Noli Knoll. A 10 will be a miss, unfortunately, as the knoll just kind of skids out of the way.
Okay, that's gonna be the end of my turn.
All right. Will take us to the hyenas. as they have this dwarf surrounded. One of them kind of tries to lunge through the bushes as another one tries to... They do all encircle this dwarf. They're all going
Is
to
that
try to...
like-
What are you going to say?
Sound wise, is that a little bit better?
Still getting an echo a little bit, but it does sound better. Yes. I'm going to say 100% yes. Not 100%. We're 95% yes. But the hyenas jump on Shad as they try to bite him. Getting a 14, a 12, and a 13.
No, no, and no.
As his muscles, they just bounce off of his muscles. And just kind of get pushed into the dirt around him, which will take us to Adun. Back to the
So
top of
I'm
the
gonna
round.
I'm gonna run up this hill a little bit to get. You said it was just a hill, correct?
It's just a hill. Nothing major. Maybe like a 5-foot increase over 6 or 7 feet, you know? So it's a slight incline. A good incline, but not...
We're in good shape.
Yeah.
I'm going to cast Eldritch Blast on the gnoll attacking this random dwarf.
Okay.
And
As another crackle of dark, near lightning pops out. Give me that blast of Eldritch Fury. 7 is going to miss. As it crackles out, the gnoll instinctually just kind of ducks as it hunches down, about to lunge at this dwarf as it misses.
I think I have a little bit of movement left. I'll just kind of reposition myself just a little bit closer.
Okay. That will take us to the Noli Knolls, as this one right by Vic is going to keep on keeping on, trying to rend out, lashing out towards him. Getting a 16 to hit.
That hits.
As it claws across you, you take 6 points of slashing damage. The Knolls here, just one kind of lunges forward and takes a shot with its bow out towards Han. You just hear this, getting a 17 to hit Han.
17 hits.
As Han, you take 11 points of piercing damage. As it pierces right in the meat of your thigh. At which point it gets excited, drops its bow, runs over towards you, and tries to leap onto you. Getting a 7 to hit.
That's a miss.
Say as it kind of tries to leap onto you, you just kind of make it roll over your backside as it almost plants into the tree. The other gnoll up here will kind of hop down into the shade. Seeing the dwarf show... both you guys are throwing magic, so it's going to randomly... Yeah, it's going to throw at Bairn as it shoots its bone bow towards Bairn, getting a 15 to hit.
That misses. Bounces off my shield.
Bounces off your shield, snarls, and just kind of keeps there in the shade as the last Gnoll warrior face to face with this dwarf who just knocked the shit out of it. It is going to try to rend into him at advantage. Getting a 23 to hit against Shad. Pretty sure 23 will absolutely hit. As Shad, you take 8 points of piercing damage, but because you are raging, you only take 4. And it once again gets excited. As it claws against you, it's going to quickly try and go for a bite. As it tries to bite down on the meat of your shoulder, getting a 20 to hit.
Yeah. Nailed me.
For a grand total of 3, because you are raging, you only take 1 point of piercing damage. Barely even
So
a
when
scratch.
When you're raging, or it rounds down.
Mm-hmm. Anytime anything is damage wise rounded down. Like for
Okay.
like if you're resistant to something. So if you take a 13 points of damage and it rounds down, you'll take 6. Like if you
Got
take
it.
you take half of 13, you'll take 6 instead of 6.5. But that will end the Knoll's turn, as one of them has gotten a taste for dwarf meat, however small. That will take us to Baron.
Can I occupy the same space as my dwarf buddy here?
No, you are not small. You guys take up the space. You are medium sized. That is only specifically like halflings can do that. Not even gnomes can share spaces.
Okay. I am going to move right here.
All right.
Let them
And
stand on each other's shoulders and they can swing their weapons.
Maybe. There would be.
I'm going to cast.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say there'd be some check involved. But you run up and you're gonna cast.
Am I?
Are you?
I'm going to cast Word of Radiance.
Okay. As I think it's been a minute since we've seen this. Go ahead and tell us what that looks like.
It's less of a word, and I just like growl and smack my sword against my shield, and it just like a dome of radiance comes out. Looks like sparks.
Fair enough. Here's another one. As they all have to make, what kind of save do they have to make?
13 Constitution.
Constitution save. Go and roll me some damage because one hyena definitely fails. The other 100% fails. The knoll stays strong though, as it is not affected. But both of those hyenas take 3 points of this kind of radiant energy shooting out like sparks from a dome around Baron. They're
And
still up, but they
then-
are hurt.
I am going to use my War Priest,
Okay.
and I'm going to attack that knoll.
Taking this moment, Noel kind of not even paying attention to you, it just kind of shrugs as it's got a target. Take this moment to drive your axe into its back. Go for it. 20 absolutely hits.
Yeah, buddy.
As you see me smack my shield, the sparks fly everywhere. I rear back with my axe and hit it for 4 damage.
4 points of damage as you clash into its backside, just missing its vitalist bits. It does yowl out a little bit, kind of straightens up, turns around, snarls at you. It's bleeding profusely out of its backside. As you can see, it has several broken ribs on the front of it as well.
On its backside.
And that'll be it for me.
All right, that will take us to Vic, face to face with this Noli Knoll.
All right, we'll just we'll hit it with that dagger, man.
Going with the dagger with the main hand?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
Ah,
doing that fucking
21
dagger, man.
will hit. Don't forget to toggle off before you roll
I
damage.
did.
Okay, fair
The
enough.
dreadful
Yes.
strike, yeah, I clicked off. But I keep Hunter's Mark on,
You
right?
keep Hunter's Mark on, as that applies to every single attack you do to this creature.
Oh, yes.
As of course the 21 will hit for 9 points of damage as you drive your dagger into the knoll's leg. It starts to kind of cave in, bending down. It's still up.
I'll hit it with my short sword.
Okay, so you dropping the scimitar?
Oh no, actually that's right. I'll keep the scimitar. Yeah, we'll offhand the scimitar.
Okay, give me an offhand with the scimitar.
Motherfucker.
Now
Well,
one
so I
that
did drop a scimitar.
as you do drop your scimitar.
Just
as you go and
I just launch it into the river.
you try to swing it, and the knoll just kind of tries to grab your hand as you just kind of drop in it. It's around. It doesn't go that far.
Yeah.
That dagger works though.
That dagger does work. I will I'll end it there.
That will take us to our burning rage Shad. With an S, not a C. So we're clear on that. It almost sounds like it's saying Chad.
No, Chad. We don't
Shad.
We got a
want
Chad in the group.
Shad. Shh. Shad, you are up. What are you up to?
All right, the rage is still going. I just seen this thing take an axe from somebody that looks like me.
Axe in the back, yeah.
with a better beard, but
With a different beard, not quite as long.
The beard's a little shorter, but that's okay. Let me turn this off. We're swinging again.
All right, swinging that maul against this Noli Knoll. It's regular Knoll, as they are known in some circles. Going reckless this time too. 23
Reckless.
will hit. As his
I hope he's dead.
yeah, 17. As you, what is the first killing blow that these people see look like that you make? Hopefully the first of many.
It was hunched over.
Yeah.
After I stuck it in the chest, guy gets him in the back with an axe, and it's like stood up.
Yep.
And right there, I just push its head into its chest cavity, and then that kind of collapses too.
Absolutely. As you just hammer down its head into its chest cavity, as it just kind of crumples and collapses to the ground like a whack-a-mole.
And then I let out a wild yell. Can I try to intimidate the dogs?
I'll say give me intimidation. I'm going to say disadvantage. But you are raging, so you do add your strength to that. So I don't know if it automatically does that or not. We'll find out. Give me intimidation. It'll be with disadvantage, though.
Okay, disadvantage. Intimidation.
It did automatically do it, but you did roll a nat 1. As
Oh, wait,
you
I
let
got
out
something
this
switches those up, right?
yeah, you let out this roar as the hyenas are all just kind of they're too focused on like, oh yes, there's something that we're gonna kill and eat it. They're too
his
excited.
roar was more like, "Hey guys, stop!"
I get all their attention.
Anything
Hey,
else for Shad?
guys.
Yeah. You staying put?
Yeah, I'm gonna straighten out my dress and wait for them to come over.
All right, that will take us to Hanabak.
Okay, Han, with these like 12-inch ice claws,
Yeah.
he grabs, with one hand, he grabs the fingers of the other and breaks them off, spins around and throws them like shuriken at the knoll by Vic.
Okay. Absolutely. 6 is gonna miss, unfortunately. As you throw them like a shuriken, they kind of get caught in the knoll's fur, but it's not a fleshy bit of fur.
Okay, I'm gonna flurry of blows.
Okay. Get 2
Um,
attacks.
The next attack, Han, you'll see almost an ice ball apparate in the hand with the broken fingers, and he's gonna throw that.
Okay. The same knoll?
Same knoll.
Okay. An 8 is
Ugh.
also gonna miss. What is roll quickly? Roll me like 1,000 D100s. Don't actually
We're
do it.
gonna
It'll
do-
break your computer. Roll at least one.
All right, we're gonna roll a D100.
You still have a second attack to make. I don't know
Alright.
if the D100 does anything, but you know, just for
Yeah.
We're gonna
funsies,
say it does.
we're gonna say it does. Absolutely. Maybe change the color of your dice. I don't know. Where's that
Yeah, it
third
does sound
attack
like
going?
the dice need to go into the.
All right, the knoll again.
Same
He
one.
does he does the plunging icicle attack he did first with it.
Okay. A 19
Hey.
looks like it
Oh.
works. A 19 will absolutely hit. For 8 points of damage as these plunging icicles kind of erupt towards it, plunging in straight into its chest, collapsing on top of the icicles.
Sub-Zero wins.
Exactly.
Okay, and that will end my turn.
All right, that will take us to these hyenas, which, not intimidated, are going to try to take this moment to bite out at their newfound dwarven food. All snapping at Shad, getting a 22, a 15, and an 18 to hit.
Wait,
If it meets, it beats.
all three get.
As all three get them. One of them is actually a crit. As you take
Perfect.
6 points of damage from 1, reduced to 3. 1 point of damage reduced to 1. And
But if it rounds down, wouldn't that be 0?
there is no such thing as 0. You always do 1. And the other one does 5 reduced to 2. So you take 3, 1, 2 for a total of 6. As they're not getting much. They're leaving marks, but they're not getting any flesh. Which will take us.
I'm fucking yoked.
Yep, which will take us to Adun. As yeah, they can't fit their mouths around your bulging muscles.
I have a quick question. I forgot to toggle my spell slots. Am I able to cast Arms of Hadar?
Yeah?
Do you know? Okay. So what I would like to do is I would like to run to the side of this knoll about 10 feet away.
Okay.
But I don't want to be close to hand.
I get what you're going for.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
And then I am going to start to summon
So you'd
Arms
want
of
you'd
Hadar.
want to be here if you don't want Han to get hit.
Okay, all right. Yeah, that's where I wanted to move, right there. How'd you know?
Yeah.
So anyways, I start to I bring my arms in close to me and with my eyes closed, and then all of a sudden they just jolt open and they turn black, and you can hear me me chant out Morir de Hadar, and these black tendrils start to like erupt from my body.
As these tendrils erupt from your body, it needs to make a strength saving throw. Interesting.
Yeah, DC 14.
It got a big 6.
Nice.
Go and
Ain't
roll
that
me
a
some
bit-
damage.
Roll damage.
As these tendrils lash out, dealing 7 points of necrotic damage. You do cast it at level 2, just so you know. All of your spells are at level 2, so roll that again. It should change the damage. You don't have any level 1 slots. You only have level 2.
Okay.
So roll, click on Arms of Hadar again, and it'll ask you what level you want to cast it.
Oh, I
Cast
see
it
what
at level 2.
you-
Because you will always cast your spells at whatever
Oh,
the
I
highest
see.
possible.
Okay.
Yeah, no worries.
so
I'll take
and then
the
save-
7, or if it does less, I'll take the 7, or if it does more.
um,
So no, don't click on the damage. Click on the.
I clicked the Arms of Hadar, and it's on second level. Oops, and then I hit save, and then I
So
click it
you'll
again.
see it say that. Yeah.
Oh, and then cast it again.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, just like that. And now hit
And then
damage.
damage.
Yes.
I gotcha.
No worries.
Oh, yeah,
That's
I
more
that a
like
little
it for 13 points of necrotic damage as these tentacles kind of wrap around, leaving marks as the knoll seems nearly paralyzed, but not quite all the way. It's like the tentacles are holding him back in this moment. Anything else for Adun?
Yeah, and then I'm going to kind of move up a little bit closer to it for my next turn.
Okay.
And then that'll end it.
Getting face to face with it, it will turn around towards you, Adun, as its reeling, the tentacles disperse from it, and it jumps out towards you, trying to snap and bite at you. Getting a 19 to hit a dune.
That will hit.
And the dune, you take minimum damage. 3 points of piercing damage.
I will take that.
As this other gnoll is going to... it's going to run up to Baron. Just running up to him. Dropping its bow. Leaping towards him. Trying to slash out with its claws. Getting a 10 to hit, though.
Bounces off my spikes.
Yeah, as it nearly impales itself on your shoulder pauldrons, which will take us to your turn, Baron. Vic on deck.
Cool. We're gonna word of radiance again.
Okay. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yep. Constitution 13.
The two hyenas got a 12 and a 19. The gnoll got a nat 1, though.
Yeah.
As one of those hyenas just kind of starts smoldering as it just
It's on fire.
does die. As the other one takes no damage, and the hyena will take 5 points of radiant damage. Anything else for Baron?
Yeah. Fuck it. We're gonna use our last war priest.
The last of the day?
Yep. We're gonna use our last war priest of the day, and we're gonna aim at this knoll here.
Okay.
And we are going to battle axe that dude.
You gotta ask him a question.
Yep.
Yeah.
A 22 will absolutely hit. As you deal 8 points of damage to the gnoll as you kind of slash into his arm, rears its arm back as it's still trying to lunge at you with its mouth.
And that'll be all she wrote.
Alright, that will take us to Vic.
All right. Go ahead and move right. Let's see. Right there.
Okay, moving on up.
We'll go ahead and bonus action, take that hunter's mark and put it
Move
on
over
to.
there.
Yes, sir.
Gotcha.
And hit that douchebag in between Han and the Dune with
All
the
right.
dagger.
Dagger main hand. As you know, maybe it makes sense for the dagger to be main hand. I don't know, that jabbing motion, probably easier with,
Yeah.
18 absolutely hits.
Oh, yeah.
It seems to work so far. You might have found your new thing.
I think I might have.
For 7 points of damage, slice into the side of this hyena creature man. Hardly a man, this monstrosity.
Well, now this monstrosity seems like it needs another little poke in its belly. We're gonna go ahead and pull out the short sword and see
Okay.
what we can do.
Leaving that scimitar on the ground forever.
Yes.
It knows what
probably,
it did.
Pretty much.
Give me that offhand short sword. Hits.
Now I say as I swing it and stab into this, fuck that scimitar.
For 11 points of
11.
damage. As you jab this short sword into the neck of this gnoll as it's reaching out towards you, blood gurgling and spilling from its mouth, it drops dead as you release your short sword from its neck.
I just look over at it, dude, and say, I think he's squishier than you there, buddy. And that's it for me.
All right, that will take us to Shad. 2 hyenas around you. A gnoll approaching this other dwarf nearby. Seems to handle his own in battle.
About to run up on that knoll.
You're gonna run away from these 2 hyenas. We've never gone over this before, but if you leave the threatened area of melee from a creature, they do get attacks of opportunity.
You could get only hit by one.
You could get hit by both and they'll do barely
If you
any
run-
damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take the 1, and then
All right.
like that.
They will both get attacks because they're both
Yeah.
you're within
I
range
forgot
of
I
both.
was in the way. You can't stand in my square.
Yeah.
If you could stand on my square, you could only take 1. But
Yeah, as you just run over to the knoll, they're just gonna get bites. It's not gonna be that bad, probably.
All right, let's take it.
Getting a nat 20 and a 9.
Well, the 20 barely hits.
Barely hitting you for 8 points of damage. You only take 4 as it bites the back of your calf as you run over there.
All right. When I get there, I'll look at this thing in my rage, and I rise, you fall.
All right.
I
And
like that.
it's gonna get smacked.
Are you jumping up towards it as you're rising?
Sort of, I guess.
I don't know. You're raising up your big hammer.
I'm just coming out.
Getting a
Damn.
nat freaking 20. Yeah. Abso-freaking-lutely. For 32 points of damage as you cave this knoll's chest in, its arm into its chest, as it is just kind of knocked to the side and is very much absolutely dead. Its body is mangled from one big old giant sweep of the maul.
Oi, I softened him up for you.
I'm gonna look at him, and then I'm gonna do a bonus action and throw down a Warrior of the Gods.
Okay. Tell us about that. What does that look like, if anything?
So as I'm there, and you can see the weird aura rage coming off me, then some of the wounds you see on my body kind of have a similar but lighter kind of glow, and you see it almost like they're healing a little bit.
As you heal yourself for 6 hit points.
Hold on, I
Anything?
gotta die
And so
first.
that you'll see like a little plus button on the top of your sheet, or if you click on your token and hit on that red box or red circle, you can type in +6, but plenty of ways to do it. Ending your turn there.
Ended.
That will take us to Hanabak.
Okay, bonus action dash.
As Han runs up, ice kind of flurrying about him.
Go right there, and he'll attack the hyena in front of the first one in front of him. He kind of claps his hands together and blows, and like an Arctic wind with icicles in it go flying towards.
All right. Give me that icicle. Icicles hit. As the icicles pierce into this hyena, it slumps backwards. Just a little.
That will be my turn.
That'll take us to the other hyena, who doesn't approach further, just kind of slowly starts to back away, facing still the dwarves and the orc. You just hear this. As it's backing away, but still somewhat territorial. It is up to you guys how you want to proceed with this, if you want to kill this hyena or not. It's up to y'all. It does seem like it's going to back away. It's just very slow about it.
I think Dune grins because he knows that it's on the last one and runs up to like Eldritch Blast this something.
Absolutely. Adun gets happy to kill a creature.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I mean, yeah. They started it.
Attack me.
You do hit the hyena.
Yes.
For 7 points of damage. Yeah, as you shoot in its side, as it's backing away, slumps over into the bush there.
And he says, "Sit."
As it It doesn't know commands and it just lays down instead.
Play dead.
As we will hop out of combat there.
Baron will turn to the dwarf standing right behind him and, well met, dwarf. Quite a hammer you got there.
Well met, Stone Giant.
I think Adun kind of walks up a little bit, shows his presence, but he's kind of eyeing him up and down, kind of studying him, like sizing him up, not to fight him, but just to.
Absolutely.
How'd you get yourself into that pickle there, my friend?
I'm after a beast, a manticore.
Aye, a manticore, huh?
We are familiar with such a beast.
Tell me more.
I just pull out my big ass manticore spine and just start using it as a toothpick again. Yeah, now, so what you say is those motherfuckers is slippery and they can go up in the air, but we done killed one.
That's the small one.
Yeah, no, it's small as shit. It's fucking 2 foot.
As the
right
toothpick
here.
is like toothpick's 2 foot long.
And just again, my gums are bleeding. Like, yeah, it's a small one. I'd like a 4 foot toothpick. And I just keep picking my teeth with it.
Hey,
I
we
will
figured
find
we'd
it
be on
and
the
I will
hunt
kill
for
it.
we figured we'd be on a hunt for a manticore. Seems like you know your way around them all. I kind of turned to the group and like, you all want to see where this guy goes. Maybe we could take down another manticore. Not too many folks I know could say that.
The more the merrier.
I just
I think Adun
raise my
kind of
spear up in the air, like, yeah, let's go.
We're doing what now?
Oh, I was gonna say, Adun kind of interjects a little bit and says, "Is this personal gain, or are you just a hunter, or like I'm just curious, what brought him here? I mean, is
Yeah.
he just wanting to hunt a manticore, or
Yeah, as Adun says all that to this newly met dwarf.
Yes.
well, first of all, what's your name?
Right.
Shag.
Man of many words here, this shed.
The stone is silent.
Let your mouth do the talking. I appreciate that. At this point in time, I'm going to cast my Divine Spark on to Vic.
Okay. A little spark of warm flame shoots over to Vic.
Yep.
We're getting some like background noise from Han too.
Oh, there it is.
Okay, hold on.
Well, I'd like to ask the group if, like, do we want to just head out to hunt this, or should we kind of gather ourselves? I know we have some wounded, and we need to kind of
Hey,
get our
that's
spell
what,
slots back. And
well, that's why I cast my Divine Spark right now on Vic, because I get that back on a short rest, and I don't know how much he'll get back on his short rest, so I just wanted to go ahead and use that.
I'll hold up my toothpick and be like, oh man, thank you very much, Baron. Now, I kind of want to kill another manticore because this toothpick's getting a little dull.
Aye. Well, I can't see a better place than any right now. We got some hyena meat. We can take a quick little break.
I'll kind of look over at Baron. Hey, Baron,
Oi,
you think you're going to look that good when you get to his age? That beard's magnificent. Yours looks like shit.
Pick up a rock and whip it at Baron or at Vic.
And as he's throwing it, I'm gonna walk towards Shad to shake his hand and introduce myself.
Shad, a drow walks up to introduce himself.
I stick my hand out. It's a pleasure to meet you, Shad. My name is Vic. I'll extend my arm out.
What does Shad do?
As he's walking up, Shad decides he's going to go and look at the river.
So I think
Unaware-
Adun sees
unaware
this.
this would have happened.
What did Shad say?
He just walks away to the river to look in the water.
I'll
So
walk right.
as you were moving, I was moving.
Yep.
I'll walk right up to the river. Right next to him. And just say, well, now howdy, Shad. My name is Vic. It's a pleasure to meet you. I saw from a distance, you and that mall is something to be reckoned with, a force to be reckoned with. It's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Vic. And then I'll just stick my hand out. We're kind of looking out to the river and see what he does.
I'll kind of look at him side eye and then make a grunt and then hold out a fist to make it an awkward like handshake fist handshake thing.
Hmm.
And you remind me of Baron. I like you. And I'll just sit there quietly looking at the river with him.
Well,
All right, I'm going to use stone cunning right now.
Trying to feel the earth beneath you.
Mm-hmm.
You can feel the waters washing over the ground ahead of you. It's kind of like looking at fuzz through your feet because sandy and it's not quite solid. You don't get anything really other than that. There's nothing in the earth or moving close to you guys within like 60 feet.
Baron
I'll
sits his
turn and
ass
look
on-
at the dro, and I'll just shake my head. And, it's good. No explanation, just awkward.
Baron kind of sits his ass on a rock, pulls out some jerky, and says, the drow's not so bad as he looks.
And Adun sits like cross-legged on this tree stump, and
It's not a tree stump, that's a whole tree.
Oh, it's a whole tree. All right. Well, then he sits next to the tree.
Yeah, that's just like
And-
representation of where the trunk is.
Okay. Well, he sits down to kind of like meditate, pulls his cowl down a bit
Okay.
to where it's like halfway covering his eyes, and it looks like he's meditating, kind of like talking to himself.
So while that's happening, I'll turn to Shad and well, now Shad, I gotta ask, how'd you find yourself in a situation with 7 beasts out here all by your lonesome? You got a particular mission, or your compass pointing you in a certain direction?
Shad kind of looks around, and then he looks down at the water again. And then he looks at him, he says, "We were many, now we're me."
Damn. Well, that's really deep. We were many, but now we're me. What does that mean, Shad? I mean, I just lost, not lost, but I had a compatriot move on from our group. I was seeking better things in this life. Are you seeking better things in this life? She was wonderful. I called her Scales, by the way, just so you don't have to ask. And love to figure out why you're staring so longly into this water and talking so cryptically. Maybe this group of ours can help you on your travels.
I lost my men to silence and steel. Only graves. Now I honor them, and vengeance comes.
Okay. So, I'm gonna go, do I need to bring the other dwarf over here to understand what you're saying, sir? Because
Yeah,
I
he's
just
just
pull out the big toothpick, start picking my teeth again, because I don't fucking understand what's going on. Hey, Bairn,
Oi,
this guy's talking in your language, like real cryptic. I think you need to come up here, like now, because he's talking, and I think I'm gonna jump in this water because he keeps staring at it. Let me know if that's a good idea or not.
what the fuck do I know about riddles?
I don't know. You're a fucking dwarf, and he's a fucking dwarf.
Okay.
Just come over here and talk to him, man. God damn.
Baron sighs. Walks over. Oi, brother. What's eating you?
Our forge went cold that day. None of us broke, but they all burned quiet. I'm the last ember, and I'll burn till the stone takes me.
Oi. I understand the feeling. Lost one of mine very close here, not too far back. We all fight for something.
Adun kind of perks up when he hears that.
What purpose is the manticore hunt for you here?
To honor the fallen. I've made their graves, and now I'll honor them in death with the thing that killed them.
And you think the manticore death will honor your fallen?
Yes.
Oi, well then who am I to argue? And I'll turn to the group and I'd be like, boys, looks like we're on a quest here to honor some fallen dwarves. I gotta tell you, I think I'm on board.
So after hearing that, you just see Vic standing by Shad on the river with his dagger and his short sword, just with a grin of just like, let's go fucking kill this thing.
Adun sits up, gets to his feet, kind of wipes his hands, and he says, "Let's get moving then."
On would interject. Perhaps a quick rest is in order first.
I haven't finished my jerky yet.
But yeah, if you guys want, you can take an hour break here by the river. It's interesting because most throughout this canyon, you've seen sparse greenery, but it does seem like there's patches by the river that there are some trees and there is greenery, not super full-fledged grass, but there's life within it. The wind.
Well, can I walk to the edge of the water here?
Yeah.
And kind of do like, what the heck is going on here? Kind of do like an investigation, or maybe a percept, just to kind of see if there's.
Don't ask me for skills. Tell me what you're trying to do.
Okay, so I'm trying to get
Oh, you fucked
lay of the
up.
land because we came from such a desert, and then just all of a sudden there's green, so much green around us that I'm wondering if it's coming from a certain point,
Oh,
like a
give me
street.
give me a nature check.
I'm gonna look back at him and say it's good.
You said what? It's good.
Yes, it's good, but that's it. Just those
Yeah.
words, no explanation, just awkward again.
Give me a nature check, Adun.
It's good.
With a 16, it's because water.
Oh, I hate you so much.
Because water make plant grow.
Water good.
Water good. Also, this is an area wider in the canyon, so the wind disperses out instead of being so harsh in the narrower portions of the canyon. So it's broken up, so it's not as harsh for the environment. So it's not just water, but the water has a lot
Well,
to do with it.
I guess what I'm getting at is like we're wanting to hunt this manticore, and
Sure.
we're in this like foliage area, so you would think that it would have like a better hunting ground around it. So I'm wondering if
Absolutely.
this manticore it's made its like nest or whatever relatively close.
Well, I'm sitting down munching on some jerky. I want to ask fucking Shad here, like, you know where this manticore is, or how we're gonna find it?
And I'll say it follows the river.
All right, so it's further down the river or further up the river?
Up.
Okay.
I think Adun kind of rolls his eyes. A man, many words.
So further up the river, then let me finish my jerky here and have a little bit of ale, and then think ready to go on my way. Short rest? Anybody?
Absolutely. You guys can take a
Yeah,
short rest here. As you are. Yeah. And so for Shad, you'll see a short rest button. Once you hit that, you'll see at the bottom of that little pop out that pops up will be, it'll say Barbarian 3d12 plus 3. You have dice there next to them. And so from left to right, click however many you want to use, if any. So if you want to just use one, click on the left one. Or you don't have to use any if you don't want to take a short rest. But those are what you can expend all throughout. And you'll have to... So you only need one as you use that. It's fine. It'll be fine. But you will be back to full after one use of your hit dice. Back to...
So when it says to and refresh your mind and spirit, short rest, do I get spell slots back then?
If you
That's
look at
more
your
luck.
sheet, you will.
You do.
Oh, it doesn't actually give you your spells back on a short rest. Why not?
Yeah, see, that's what I thought.
I
And
thought-
I'm also not even seeing where, because I go under spells, but I'm not seeing, like, there should be the, I don't know, the dots or whatever saying, like, how many I have of each.
If you go under
Scroll down.
spells, scroll down to second. You see you have
Yeah.
2 slots with the check mark boxes.
And so I uncheck them if they're used or check them if they're used.
If there are check boxes there and they're red, you have them.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then I'm good to go.
And then I also have a question. When I went to take a short rest, I only had one spot to click. 2 of them were already used,
So you can only use 1 hit dice.
which is fine. But why did I lose 2?
I think last battle you probably used 2.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we did that
If
last time.
if I had to guess, that's why.
We did take it. We already took a short.
You
rest.
have taken a
Okay.
short rest today in the morning after you fought the Knolls the last time.
Oh yeah. Okay, we did. Cool. That's fine. I had 1 left. Perfect. That's all I needed.
Do you get your War Priest stuff back on a short rest too?
I didn't click any War Priest stuff. Did it give it back? Let's.
It looks like it did. I don't know.
Oh, it did, but I didn't click any of it back.
You
You
get
were
them. You
getting
get them all
all-
back on a short rest. Absolutely.
Whoa.
That's great.
Fuck yeah, that's a fucking game changer right
Yeah.
there. I didn't even think about
And
that.
now we know
That's
short rests are good. Good job, gang. We all
real
learned
good.
something new. Well, as your short rest concludes, and meeting with this Shad, what are you guys doing, and how are you doing it?
Well, I think I'm gonna turn to Shad and be like, Shad, you know what the fuck we're looking for? Why don't you take point? We'll follow you.
Watch the river. Look for carcasses.
Alright. Watch the river. Look for carcasses. You want me to take the rear? Who's got the rear?
I got the rear.
You got the rear? Alright.
All right.
Then I'll turn to a dude or a Dune and be like, or no, not a Dune, he's in the back. I'll turn to fucking Vic and be like, Vic, you watch the sky, I'll watch the river. Keep your eyes open.
All right. As Shad is leading the way on this one,
Lead the way, Shad.
looking for carcasses, you said?
Yeah, carcasses and pestilence carrying areas.
Okay.
Do I know anything about manticores?
I
Yeah,
believe
what
you
one?
guys have already rolled, so you would know what you know. But Shad, I would like you to either give me a perception or a survival check.
Okay.
With a 16. You don't have advantage on it, but with a 16 nonetheless.
Oh, fuck, I didn't turn off. Sorry.
You're good, you're good.
You got
Anytime
16.
advantage or disadvantage is clicked and you don't have advantage or disadvantage, I will always take the first roll. So you are golden. With a 16 as you're traveling along the river, you start to actually get a little bit of a uphill view. And it comes to your mind, well, if you had a better vantage point, you might be able to see things more clearly throughout this canyon. And seeing a large mesa nearby, going over both sides of the river. You think that might be an optimal vantage point. Who knows? Maybe even a great vantage point for a hunter like a manticore.
As I see that, the other dwarf is closest to me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm right behind you.
I'm gonna turn and look at him, and I'm gonna point and I say, "We should go up."
Hey, you think so? Not a bad vantage point. I'm gonna like look at this thing and try to see if I can't find any type of path or any way that looks like would be a path of least resistance to get to the top.
Absolutely. Give me a perception check. Trying to peer out for a good path to climb up this large mesa. With a nat freaking 20, you spot the perfect set of handholds and kind of escarpments to climb up. Almost not quite a natural staircase, but probably the closest thing to one that you've ever freaking seen.
So I'll kind of like stop and like Shad and kind of like wave Hey, boys, come on over here. We're thinking here that at the top of this mesa here, we might be able to at least see where we're going. It looks like a good hunter's vantage. I think we should make it up to the top here. I see a really good way.
Aye.
All right. Well, why don't you
Can I-
follow me up there?
Can I chime in and just be like, well, now, I love to find me a good hunter spot. I would love to lead this.
Oh, you want to go first there, huh?
Oh, and I kind of just look at him and just go, yes.
So Baron does an overly dramatic bow
Okay.
and motions with his hand towards the base of the mesa.
Yeah, as he
I-
kind of points to a very nice, not quite pathway, but it doesn't seem like a difficult climb.
And I will bow back and say, Your Majesty, thank you for your grace. And start to climb.
What the fuck did
Okay.
you call me?
Your Majesty.
Go fuck yourself.
I will say this is less of an arduous task than it's like a beginner mode of rock climbing as opposed to the when you're climbing the Griffin's Roost. So is everybody going up or just Vic or
I'm going up.
Yeah, Han's gonna go up.
When I walk by
I-
the door, I nod at him.
Can I find kind of a place? I don't really want to follow. I'd like
Okay.
to find a place that's off the path, kind of like, I don't know, basically hiding in the bushes.
yeah, there's plenty of bushes around if you want to stay hidden.
Yeah, I'd like to do that.
As you guys notice, Adun is not following you climbing this cliff. It will be, yes, Shad, it will be an athletics check, but at advantage for everyone. Because this is a very, seemingly, very easy spot that Baron found. And I will also need a stealth check from Adun.
How high is this mesa?
It goes up about 120, 140 feet. So high. Thank goodness for that advantage.
Yeah.
Han was about to eat some shit again.
As you get up there, you start hearing this howling, this incessant moan almost. And as you approach top of this howling plateau, this high rocky plateau rising from the center of the canyon, the river you can see cutting through it, the canyon bottom passing through to the other side. Wind keens and moans, and alternating its pitch with the force and direction of the wind, as it almost seems to kind of, I don't know, sounds almost human or almost humanoid, but not. There's something almost ethereal about it as you're atop here. And it's flat near the top, no shrubbery or any sort of thing clinging to the rocks. It's all just rock and dust. And the wind is like, like standing on top of a tall tower. It's a height. Not quite as high as the edge of the canyon because you can't see over the walls. They're about 300 feet up. This thing goes to about halfway as you have a perfect view of the entire canyon up here.
And what do we see on top? Like, is there any sign of a manticore resting place type of
Give me a survival check looking around for tracks.
cat or anything like that? Survival. Oh, not at advantage.
Not an advantage. With a 14. Well, I will say, Shad, if you want to roll, you have to ask.
Oh,
or
sorry, I
if
thought
you
it was
or
everybody.
or no, so it's just the person asking to do the thing gets to do the thing. But if you do
Okay.
want to help, you can always be like, can I help him look for these tracks? Or ideally before I ask for the roll.
Got it.
But you are proficient, so I'll give Baron advantage on the survival as you're both looking about, and with the two dwarves scouring the earth, as they are creatures of the earth. Yeah, you would notice several different sort of talon marks all throughout the edges. None near the center, it's all near the edges of this plateau. Plateau kind of stretches probably 50, 70 feet on one side, maybe like 40 or so feet on the short side. But you would notice large scratches and talon marks. Some of them look to be large birds, while others look more feline, much like a manticore's. So you can tell that this is a space that the manticore has been. Some of the claw marks look bigger than you anticipated.
And I'll turn to Shad, and I guess if the other guys are close to me, and be like,
Yeah.
"Hey, my boys, that's a big one."
Can I like sniff the air and see if I
Sure.
get like a death scent or?
I would say if you sniff the air, give me a
Dust.
perception check. It will be hard because the wind is blowing in multiple directions and it cuts through this canyon like
Okay, and
a knife.
I'm gonna definitely sniff, and then also while I'm listening to the wind pitch and change the flow, do I hear anything weird, like almost like a voice or like twisted speech?
I would say yes, you definitely think you might hear twisted speech, but it is just the wind.
Okay.
Damn.
But with a
God damn.
21, you're getting mixed signals. Smell in the air. Definitely there is smell of death on it. Can't quite pinpoint. As the wind kind of changes its direction, you still smell it. There's actually the scent of death coming from both the north and the south of the canyon.
I gotta know, does he smell jerky and mead?
No, that's
Fair.
my body odor.
I mean, yeah, he knows how to discern the difference between, but he's looking for a specific scent at the moment.
As I look at these claws that I've recognized as to be large cat feline claws, can I see any that look fresher than others? Where
I
he
mean,
might have
yeah,
been
sure,
placed?
like within the last few days, some of them. But also the large birds also seen within the last few days, like giant vultures or griffins that you've seen. Or even the hippogriffs that you've seen the knights ride, that you guys rode. So there's definitely signs of all creatures, at least flying creatures, using this as a temporary roost. Because you
Right.
get to see so much.
In which
Well-
direction are the cat-like claw marks?
They're all over. There's no discerning direction which side. It would seem it probably uses the roost on any direction depending on where it's heading that day. Just to get that vantage point.
I'm gonna lean over towards Bairn and say, It's more active in the night. Strike
Alright.
while it's layered.
Do you want to camp up here tonight? Or should we camp out down below?
Because you still have a good, 7 hours of daylight. Maybe, well, say 5 hours of daylight left.
I'm all for setting
A
a
little
trap.
more investigation on top of the mesa.
What about your investigation?
I want to check out the top a little more and see if, as
It's
I'm moving around on top of it, any things in the distance
okay.
jump out at me.
Looking out in the distance. Yeah, give me a perception check as you look out around the landscape. The 14.
I got sand in mine.
A couple of things would stick out. Looking to the north, you would notice there's that large tower, which you have not been to, so you don't know too much about that. But you do see large flying creatures around it. Presumably, that's not the lair of the manticore. And you've seen people riding large birds near it, but from here you can kind of see at the base of that mesa there that the tower is on is a bunch of rocky, well, boulders and kind of brambles, but you can kind of pick out that there are bones amongst them. And also you would see this narrower kind of gulch that the river goes upstream. Or rather goes, yeah, that's upstream, where the river comes from. But as you look a little further to the south, looking around, there is a spot near the banks. That's where the griffins were, by the way. There is a spot to the banks to the south that you do see numerous bones. As you look across that wide section of river, you do see along the canyon wall, see what looks to be a cave, darkened like a little dot of blackness within.
I'm gonna go tell Burn about the south potential canyon cave.
Hey. So Baron's gonna look over that way too, and how far is that? Like walking.
This is actual. 1,700 feet about. I mean, but crossing the river. Right.
Quarter of a mile.
Yeah. You get there in a couple hours.
Hey. So I wonder. We got a bunch of dead hyenas. I wonder if we maybe bring some dead bodies down near there. See if we can't set a trap.
We'll say roll me give me a nature check, Baron. Fair enough.
Bueller.
It may be profitable to do so and lure the creature out of its cave.
Hey, I mean that's what I was thinking.
I'm gonna
Maybe
tell
we
him.
could-
I'm gonna say it flies, not so much in the cave.
Hey,
So maybe cornering it in the cave, if it's in there, would be our best bet.
hey Vic, the fuck are you doing? What do you think?
Well, I'd love to be some bait.
Oh, I want you to be some bait.
Well, how else are we supposed to get a manticore to come down and
You
kill it?
squishy little fucker. We got a bunch of dead bodies here, but I think
I
I
mean,
think Shad was right.
technically, to a manticore now, we all squishy bodies. Don't send a dune. By the way, have we seen a dune? Kind of look around. We're back. But anyways, I love to be bait for a manticore fight. So
No, I think
keep that in
Shad.
mind.
I think Shad was right. He got wings and we don't. If we can fight him in the cave, he can't fly.
Is there any way I could be bait in the cave?
Sure, go get yourself fucking killed. I don't give a fuck.
Well, no, you don't. Neither do I. But I really want a 4-foot toothpick. So,
Skinny buddy, bad bait.
what'd you say? Why you always whispering over there, man?
Bad ears too.
You smoke too much. What you say?
Oi, let's go fucking kill the manticore in the cave. I think we make our way down that way.
Do I go first to lure it in?
How about we get to the fucking cave and then we can fucking figure it out?
But if we're gonna get, how are we gonna get it to the cave? Someone's got to be up top because we were 120 feet the last time, and our
It's like-
resident.
I think you're missing the point.
Oh shit! Am I?
Night creature.
I think it
Nocturnal.
might be sleeping in the cave.
Yes. It's already in the fucking cave. We need to get to the fucking cave before fucking sundown. Go kill it in a fucking cave, you fucking numbskull.
Oh shit! I will love to go down in that cave first. My bad.
Fucking drow. God damn it.
I'm just sitting there with the old manticore toothpick, like, yeah. No, I'm fucking dumb as shit.
His
Oi.
cornbread ain't cooked all the way through.
Yeah, I mean, I applaud you for the effort, but yeah,
A dune's not there right now, anyways. He's hiding low in the grasses.
In a bush eating berries.
Yep. Says that the plan?
Oi.
Okay.
Let's take the fight to the manticore.
As you climb down off of this Howling Plateau. Hey, that's the name of it, Howling Plateau.
Perfect.
Yeah. Regrouping with the dune.
Is this a bear?
It's an owl bear. It's just a token for you guys. It's what I use on the big map, so I figured why not just bring it here. But as you regroup with the dune who's hiding, catch him up to speed on what you guys found or learned. That's going to be where we're going to take our little 5-10 minute break. So we'll be back here in a few, and stick around, folks. See you in a minute.
All right. Let's go.
Alrighty, folks, we are back in it. Last we left off after encountering some gnolls and meeting a new dwarf who seemed to have a bone to pick with a manticore. Man of few words. Shad seemed to want to hunt this manticore for his own reasons. You guys not opposed to hunting this manticore yourselves, as you think it might be a worthy kill. Who knows, maybe it has treasure of its own. Took to the hunt. Headed up to the Howling Plateau in the middle of this canyon. And as you looked around, you think you spied its home. Cave to the south. Near the edge of the canyon as it leads out into the hilly lands to the south. Cave across the waters to the south. As you regroup, meeting up at the bottom of the plateau, you would see a dune like trying to put some pieces of grass together that almost looks like a net, but not really. It's dry, and so it doesn't like. Parts of it are dry, parts of it are wet. I would say there is no net a dune, unfortunately, within that 11 survival.
Can I give
So
him
I'd
some
say I
pointers?
see them walking up, and I just kind of drop it and like kick some dirt on it, like I didn't totally fail at making this while they were gone.
Absolutely.
Kind of like head up.
Hey, it's a nice basket you got there.
So, what did you learn while you were up there?
We heading down to the south. I think we see a cave down there. Manticores are nocturnal, apparently, so I'm gonna try and catch them in the cave if you're willing.
Yeah, lead the way.
All right, off we go.
I just kind of kick my failed creation and tag along.
All right. As you head towards that kind of to the south, to that kind of crossing wide mouth part of the valley, trudging along, you can see that the river is wide. The river is wide here, and
Rabbits.
it does seem deceptively deep, not quite as crystal clear as the previous waters. In fact, many rocks kind of jut across it as waters flow a little more quick in this point, even though it's wider, as opposed to the narrow parts, which are wide and full of rapids. This area is rapids because of the rocks jutting through the river. It's almost a crossing, but the rocks and boulders are separate and not
Okay,
not
two
close
questions.
together. Yeah.
Are the boulders like, can we hop from one to another? Like, or are they way too spread out?
Well, it's like a 340-foot wide part of the river here. Yeah, it would seem like for the most
jump
part, some of you might be able to jump, but you can see it's not perfect by any means.
Well, then I'd like to scan the area and see if there's a like a better crossing, maybe up or downstream, something a little bit safer.
I would say as you look upstream to the north, the other side of the river is just canyon wall. So upstream would not be the easiest way. And downstream, it looks to start flowing down river into the hills, which will eventually flow into the Desserin River.
Well, I guess I turn to the group and I ask, should we try to cross here?
Don't look
No
like a
other
much
way.
better spot than here. Are there any trees around?
There are no trees around. Notably, this area is actually probably littered with the handful of large bones of horses, cattle, sheep, gnolls, large
All right,
birds.
so-
Several bones are lining this area, and there's a little bit of roughage on this part of the water. It seems like the wind is also howling here, so you're definitely being hit by that wind, but it's not quite as hot anymore this time of day.
So I would say maybe if we're about to cross, everybody find the biggest bone that they can find. We can use it as a support as we walk across. You can find a thigh bone of a horse or something that you can use to grab onto things or to support yourself as you walk across.
Well, would Han be able to maybe use some of his elements to help us cross? Maybe like ice, turning some of the water into ice? Maybe in between the boulders?
Or freezing the part there so less water flows.
Do I have those kind of capabilities, DM?
Possibly. I mean, you don't have like severe control. It's mostly the elements around you that
Yeah.
flow through you. But I mean, you've never tried it in such an extent to stop the flow of water and turning it to ice.
This is your moment. I turn to Han and I put a hand on his shoulder and I just say, "This is your moment."
And goes, okay, I shall try. And he does the frost claws again, and then he just dips his finger into the water trying to freeze it.
Give me a wisdom check.
Check.
Yep.
Okay.
As you dip your hand into the flowing river, as it bubbles around,
Ugh.
the
Ugh.
6,
Double 6.
it does get cool, and as you pull your hand up, it's like dipping your hands in wax, that hot
Yeah.
wax, and you pull it up, there's more wax on your fingers. It seems like it collected some of the water into icicles around your hands like claws, but not to the effect that Adun was hoping for.
Sorry. Shandakul only gives me so much power.
I think Adun kind of scoffs at him and just kind of walks to the back of the group.
You may try to freeze the water if you wish.
Baron sees him scoff and kind of turns. Be like, how doing? Why don't you freeze the water there, bud?
I don't need to freeze it. I can teleport to the other side.
All right. Well, then why don't you go on and kill the Manticore yourself?
It's frustrating. Let's just get through this.
How wide is the river?
About, at this point, about 350 feet. It's wide.
And we don't have any idea on the depth.
So look,
Parts of it
Across.
parts of it do look shallowish. I'd say give me a perception check there, Shad. Your keen dwarven eyes looking through. The areas around the rocks do look shallow, but it also looks as that's where the water's flowing quickest. So it's possible to stand in a lot of these parts, climbing up the rocks, possibly jumping to a next shallow space. But you could see some areas that are only like maybe a foot deep near some of these rocks. Others
Okay.
seem deeper than you can see, but there are some spots in there that are shallow. The river is
Can
more
I
quick.
empty my little water skin
Sure.
and then blow it up like a floaty and attach that to myself, and then use my warhammer as like a walking stick to slowly and carefully cross in these shallow spots I've identified?
well now, other bold guy. If we have a resident warlock that can make it across the river, should we not try to tie all our rope, if we all have rope, have him go across the river, and make ourselves a little safety net to walk across the river? What say you? If
That sounds
that's
like-
something you, as I turn to Adun, is if that's something you can actually do.
Can you pick me
First
up?
and foremost, you of all people should know that I can misty step like that.
But does Misty Step get you 300 and some odd feet from here to there with rope in your hand?
That's actually that.
Because I think Misty Step's like 30 feet there, my guy.
Yeah, no, I have to be closer than that.
Does it do and
that's
admit
way too-
this?
Yeah, I will admit my fault.
Well, okay then. Should we maybe stake something with rope to this shoreline and do what Shad is suggesting, but we all have, oh, I don't know, like 50 foot of rope, maybe 100 foot of rope, depending on how much we have, and we stake it every so often as a safety net to cross this river?
Or we just tie the rope to each other and try and
Yeah,
make
and then
everybody
kind of
cross.
just out go in formation. If somebody slips, you can grab onto the rope type of deal.
Well, now that sounds like a wonderful idea. How much rope we got, y'all?
I believe 50 feet.
And do we have a really good anchor spot to this side?
Well, they're bones. You could crack one with somebody's hammer or axe and, make
They're-
it sharp and tag it in.
They're mostly broken already.
Do we have any rocks or trees or anything on this shoreline that we could tie ourselves off to?
There's plenty of rocks and shrubbery, but no trees.
Is there any rock that looks like it could support, oh, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us if we were all to slip at the same time?
Well, I don't think we don't got 300 feet of rope. I think the play is to tie everybody together
Yeah,
and,
I
and
see
move,
exactly what you're saying, and kind of,
move
yeah.
across the open spaces one at a time. So that
Well,
way,
all right, now then, Spikes, let's go.
four people are holding on to one person while they move across the open spaces.
But I did like what you were saying before about like a long bone to kind of like brace ourselves
Yeah,
in the
I think-
water in
I
case
think
the current
everybody-
gets a little bit
Like
heavy.
a walking stick.
Everybody
Yeah.
grabs the biggest walking stick bone that they can. To,
There would probably also be some like driftwood around that
Yeah.
just happen to wash on shore from the
Yep.
trees that are further up. They're not
Everybody
like
grab-
massive.
everybody grab a big stick. We tie
Would a
ourselves
2-foot
up.
manticore spike count?
I don't know. Is it dull from your teeth?
I'm just gonna use his quarterstaff.
Yeah, that works perfectly fine.
I'm gonna use my battle axe.
We use a manticore spike.
All right.
All right, so nobody's grabbing bones. All right, so we're gonna tie ourselves up together.
Okay.
How much rope do we have? I don't have any.
I have rope.
So you got 50 feet?
That might be all we have.
Oh, great. We
So
made a
every 5
plan and
feet.
we didn't have the inventory.
Every 5 feet, that's fine.
I have rope. I guess it's 50 feet.
Or so every 10 feet. We're tied. We're holding
Well,
on to
if
this
you're
rope every
tied
10
up,
feet.
that will take away 25 feet of rope. So you guys are
Literally.
I got rope
fucking-
too, of course.
there. You go.
Oh, you got rope? Okay, so that's 100 feet of rope.
So we got 50 feet to work with.
75, technically, I think.
So 75. So everybody is what, 12 and a half feet
Something like
apart
that.
from each other?
Yeah.
All right, I think that's the deal then. I think fuck it, we ball and we fucking just do it.
Okay. As you tie yourselves together like a chain gang and start to ford the river. Who's fronting this?
I think
I'll go in
Han
front.
or Chad.
You
That's
can
fine.
both like be up front, maybe like
I can give a second.
2 eyes are better
I
than
think, okay, Adune's going to interject here and say we need to have Baron or Shad. One of you two need to be in the front and the back. You got to be the strongest out of this group.
Fine.
The
I'll
anchors.
hold up the reel. I
Yeah.
will. Baron will hold up the rear.
Okay.
I'll go second. That's fine.
As you start fording the river. I would like Shad to continue with the perception checks. I'll give you advantage kind of using your hammer to check for depth. Okay. As you start to head out, I'd like everyone to give me an athletics check. Because there are parts of this water. You're climbing over some of the rocks into the shallower parts, trying to rush you downstream.
That's a normal
Just a
athletics.
normal athletics. I love how the two dwarfs are the ones that rolled the lowest.
Yep.
But,
With my +5 to athletics.
yep,
No shit.
yep,
Oh wait,
And
Okay.
proficiency.
yeah. As you're heading across, you make it to like maybe a third of the way, say 115, 120 feet across, making good progress. Like, you know, climbing over the rocks and trying to stick to the shallows. I would like for both Shad, Adun, and Bairn to give me dexterity saving throws.
Oh boy. Oh, thank God.
Yeah. As all three of you at this point do kind of accidentally misstep, and you feel the water, or maybe not that you misstep, that the ground kind of starts to sink beneath you as the soil is not hard there, the sand is not solid. You start to sink down as you quickly start to fall down. Each of you lands your footing kind of separately in your own time, not all happening at the exact moment. You keep your footing. You continue onward. Dune, you rolled acrobatics also with that, but
Did I?
you did. No worries. I will need another athletics check from everyone once again.
Okay, I'll take that athletics.
This will be a series of 3.
What the?
All right. You rolled acrobatics again. Your athletics is like -1.
I rolled the acrobatics. Oh shit, we both did.
You both did. I'm not asking you to roll again. I'm gonna take your same roll. Got a 4. -1 is a 3. What is Vic's athletics?
Mine is a athletics. It's a +3, so it's actually acrobatics.
It's the same thing. Gotcha. Well, fair enough. As Adun and Han, this time, I would like both of you to give me Constitution saving throws.
Oh shit, dexterity's so much better for me.
I know.
I'll take it.
As this part of the river isn't so much as a slip, it's more of just like, this is arduous. This is taking up energy. As Adun, you do suffer 1 point of exhaustion. Meaning all of your d20 rolls will have -1 to them. You'll see it if you go to your character sheet.
Yeah.
On the right side, there's conditions and a little cog. If you toggle it up, just put exhaustion level 1.
I'm seeing hit points, hit dice.
You
On
just gotta scroll down.
the top right of your character sheet,
Yeah.
next to AC, speed, defenses, and then you'll see conditions right above senses.
Oh, gotcha. And
At
I
the,
need
at the
to
very
go,
bottom of that, you'll see exhaustion. It has
So,
levels.
just-
You have 1.
save.
And
Okay.
once again, this is trying. Adun, you're definitely feeling the weight of the water pressing up against you at different times, maybe splashing up against you. You're probably a little bit wet, to say the least.
Vic's in front of me?
I think Vic would be in front of you and Baron is behind you, yeah.
Baron's behind me. Okay, can I kind of, because I'm assuming with this rope attached to me,
Mhm.
I have, 2 hands on it to like try to go through this water. But since that kind of, scared the shit out of me, I'd like to kind of reach back on the rope and kind of like twist my arm to where it's kind of locked in.
Yeah, trying so you can get dragged a little better.
Yeah.
Gotcha. As you lock in, like one final athletics check to cross this, to ford this river.
Perfect.
Ooh.
Oh fuck.
And with that, I would say everyone.
Vic is behind me.
So behind you is Han. It'll go Shad, Han, Vic, Adun, Bairn. As
Did I successfully ford this?
we're getting there. As you're nearing the end, you're maybe 40 or so feet away. Shad, you can see that cave up ahead as a little small waterfall trickles out from it. Less trickle flows out from it. And as you see the end in sight, everyone besides you slips.
Oh shit.
I would like Bairn, Adun, Vic, and Han to give me strength saving throws.
Oh, man.
Can I try to pull him?
We'll get there in a second. We'll see how this goes.
Oh fuck.
As Han maybe drifts maybe 15 feet downstream, Han, you hold firm, planting onto a rock. As Shad, you're 15 feet away from holding your own in your own trunk-like legs. As everyone is drifting downstream, what are Shad and Han doing in this moment as everyone else has kind of lost control?
I am pulling. I'm getting Han. Han's the one behind me, right?
Han's the one right behind you, the tall
Yeah.
orc, lanky
I'm
orc.
pulling him, and because what comes after him is the next person, and yanking,
everyone else.
putting his strength to use.
Yeah, Han is assisting in the pool, not only back towards the rocks, but with everyone else if he can.
I would like Han and Shad to both give me athletics check, or Shad if Han you want to give advantage to Shad, or vice versa, you can do that.
I'll give advantage to that.
Okay. Shad, give me an athletics check at advantage.
Oh, yeah.
With 2 unnatural 20s, as you start dragging and pulling, Han meets you kind of where you're at, kind of wrapping around a nearby rock for a little bit of leverage. Start dragging and pulling everyone. I would like Bairn, Adun, and Vic to give me dexterity saves as you're being dragged upwards, as you're just trying not to drag into any rocks that are sharp and Some of them have been worn, but there's also bones jutting out in the waters. All right. As Bairn and Vic each take 12 points of
God damn.
slashing damage from these rocks as they are lacerating. Adun, you take 6.
Jesus.
As eventually Shad and Han, both of you guys dragging them, you make it to the shore.
Oops.
Everyone else drenched in water, blood definitely flowing down Bairn and Vic in this moment. What'd you do, Adun? You got rid of all your hit points.
Yeah, I'm trying to use my number pad, and it changed things up on my screen.
What were your hit points at before?
Well, I'm supposed to be at 17, but for some reason it's saying 6. Well, now it's saying 21. There.
It changed it to 0, is what happened.
Yeah, it's giving me like 3 different numbers. Anyways, it's good now.
Fair enough. As you reach it to shore, drenched in water, all of you. Both Han and Shad look a little less worse for wear. But you're all still tied together. Okay. You're wounded. But there's definitely some sharp rocks and bones in that water.
So I see them kind of bleeding and all that, and I kind of just move over. I'm like, bind wounds, blood smells.
Yeah. I'm going to use both my channel divinities. I'm going to use one on me.
Okay.
Where is that channel divinity? I actually cast that. Incident combat, channel divinity.
As you're using your channel divinity on whom?
I'm gonna use one on me.
Okay, you give yourself
Use
6
that one on
healing.
me. And I'll give myself 6. So I'll go up to 21. And then I can't see who else. I'm gonna
Vic
use
is badly hurt.
Yeah, I'm gonna use the other
I'll
one.
hold my hand up and just point towards Adun. Get him, I'm fine.
I'm not
Yeah,
that
but
bad.
I'm not gonna use it on a dune. I'm gonna tell him to fuck himself. And I'm going to use the other one.
Can I use my healer's kit to help?
Healer's kit will help stabilize. It doesn't actually heal wounds unless you have the healer feat.
Okay, so
It's
it won't
it's
heal, but will it like close wounds and stop bleeding and all that?
yeah, I would say so. Yeah, to try and
Okay, well then I
help
definitely want to do that.
cover the smell of the blood. Yeah, I'll say use one of your healer's kits to kind of patch up everyone's wounds to make sure that the blood stops. As Vic, you do get 4 points of healing.
Woohoo!
Yep, that was a 1d8 plus 3, and I got a 6 and a 4.
That's how it goes sometimes.
I'll just pick up a rock and kind of chuck it in the air. Thank you.
All right, so here we are.
You would see this tall, maybe about 30 feet up, cliffside that goes into a darkened cave beyond, with water flowing out of it, vines kind of creeping down the side, and a little bit of shrubbery near some of these tall. There's a small mesa near you.
I think Adun kind of murmurs to himself, "Where the hell were these vines earlier? Could have used them."
It's closer to the water.
And Baron will turn to Shad and be, Shad, this is your quarry. What do you want?
I'm gonna look around a little bit. And then I'll take like a big sigh. As if, yeah, I found the place, and then I'll turn to everybody. I'll say, I came to walk alone, stone silent, hammer steady. But if you stand with me, you fight for the fallen. You fight with them. Their blood moves in every swing, in every stab, and every shot. But I need no saving. I need war.
Hey. Well, I'm far from silent, my friend, but I'll swing my axe with you.
So after hearing that, I'll just move up as close as I can get to Chad and just kind of spit blood right on the floor and let's go, buddy.
So how you want to do this? I can watch the mouth if y'all are trying to sneak, because y'all don't want me in there sneaking.
And I just look eager, just very eager to go in.
I
Kind
think
of
Adun,
like a rabid dog, just like let me off the leash, but stealthily off the leash.
Adun pulls his cowl down and just walks past the group and starts heading up to the mouth of the cave.
I'm gonna follow right up to him, right at the mouth, and then do a stone sense.
Okay, how are you? So are you climbing up the side or what?
Right about where the little waterfall flows out onto the rocks.
Okay.
I'm definitely gonna be behind them. Probably.
Don't
We're gonna
sense
keep like 30
anything.
feet.
Fair enough. Keeping 30 feet away. You don't sense anything with your stone sense other than the water moving around.
Can I sense if any of the paths in there are like kind of tight or small, or if
Give
they're
me
more
a give me a
open?
perception check.
Okay.
13. It's hard to say, but you do see one distinct path that the water flows through.
Okay, I'm gonna point that out to the Dro next to me. Just pointing.
Mm.
So from him pointing,
He points to the
because
wall.
so I start scanning it. Am I seeing like a better path to get up there?
He's pointing to the wall, and it looks like a wall.
Okay.
He's not pointing out a better path. He's just pointing to where he knows there's like you don't know what he's pointing at, but he's pointing.
So I'd like to take our Griffin experience and kind of think about that for a second, because I'm reserved about climbing anything.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see if there is a safer path to go up this.
Don't be just wandering around.
Yeah, and then I see our little dwarf friend just kind of bopping around.
Give me a perception check, trying to look for a safer route. Safer than what, though? Pray tell.
Safer than going straight up, like we did with the griffins.
Okay. Give me a perception check.
Oh,
It's a cliff.
Yeah, it's a cliff.
What are the rest of you guys doing?
At this point, walking up this way. Like, are you guys gonna fucking go inside or not? What the fuck did we come here for?
I'm looking. Do you see anything?
I
You
don't know.
remember what happened last time?
At this point, Baron's gonna kind of peek his head around the corner here and try and look up the fucking mouth of the.
So that isn't the corner. That is a waterfall coming down 30 feet from
In the cave-
from the ledge
okay.
of the cave up top 30 feet.
So I look up, and that's where the cave is.
You look up and you see a ledge. You can't see the cave from right here, but from afar you can kind of see that there's like an overhang.
You just hear Baron kind of whisper under his breath, "Fuck it," and he starts to climb the wall.
Okay, Baron, give me an athletics check. Climbing the wall.
I'm climbing too.
Yeah, I'd
Okay.
like to follow behind.
Baron, with an 11, you make it up.
Oh shit! Were we all supposed to be doing this?
No, but I will eventually. A Dune with the 7. You take 1 point of damage as you fall down. As Shad
Wow.
also makes it up to the cave. And you can climb up there and you can see, yeah, there's a cave mouth up there.
I'm just gonna climb up too.
Alright, Han, give me an athletics check.
Me as well.
Vic as well. Taking turns climbing up the side here. Vic, trying to climb up, you also kind of slip on the wet rocks and fall on your butt, taking 1 point of damage.
Baron's gonna
I'm
come
gonna,
back over.
I'm gonna
this
throw
way.
my rope down to
Yep, I was gonna
assist
say.
them.
That's what I was gonna do.
Okay, as they both the dwarves pull their rope out and just toss it down.
I knocked
So
the rope
I
out the way and
grab
try
one
again to
with
climb it.
Each hand grabs one of their ropes, and I look up and I'm like, "Okay, pull."
I kind of give a side eye to fucking Shad, like, fucking humans.
Do you guys pull?
Yeah, we.
I disregard. I try to climb again. The ropes.
Okay. I will say the 2 dwarves, give me an athletics check, and yeah, Vic, not using the ropes, give me another athletics check. Yeah, you guys easily pull up. As eventually, after you pull the dune up, Vic climbs up the side.
So we're all on the top. Now,
You're all
right?
on the top now. You can see. Oh,
Okay, so I would like to gather the group together and
you are
say-
gathered. There's no need to
Okay.
gather them.
Well, I'm trying to get their attention.
Yeah.
To like focus. On
what
what
do
I'm
you
gonna
say to get their
Tell me
attention?
what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me what.
Hey y'all. Let me have your ear for a second. I'd like to try to channel something, if you will. If you could stand guard for just a moment. And when I say that, I kind of, my eyes roll back in the head or into my head, and they just kind of go black, like pitch black, and I'm kind of like looking up, almost like I'm being abducted.
Oh, this fucker's a weird motherfucker. I don't even know what to say, but I ain't gonna leave him here.
He floats a lot.
Baron's gonna kind of like move to about right here. Try and look around the corner.
Yeah, you can see pretty well into that cave with your dark vision. As this stream trickles to the south a good ways. You can see it goes deep into the cave.
And do I see, like, looking at the sand on the shores of the river or the stream and shit, like, looks like there's a manticore here? Like,
Give me
any
a
sign?
survival check.
Survival.
Meanwhile,
Sur-
Adun, give me a stealth check with that. Hard to tell. It looks like rocks. Not with you.
You said stealth check for a Dune. He did that.
I said with that.
I gotta find it. There we go.
Okay. Thank you. Dune. Your vision fading and rebirthing. You'd see this trickling cave, trickling water dripping down the cave as your vision goes deeper, deeper still. Not too far until you see a pool filling the center of this deep cave, born from a natural spring beneath the rock and flowing outward to the river. Long stalactites hang above the pool, surrounding a natural center pillar. The pillar is a stalactite itself, not even reaching the water. Water dripping from the stalactites into the pool, echoing throughout the cave here. Some of the debris within looks like leftovers from an old camp, including 4 old crates smashed and broken, and even remnants of a tent. Bones scattered throughout the space, not as much as you would think. It seemed most of the bones were on the other side of the river. But there are bones still. Plenty of them look humanoid in nature. Kind of at the top corner. Well, give me a perception check with them. Okay. Let's say the top corner. You would see a resting, not fully asleep. You see one of its eyes wander occasionally. The occasional snort. Quiet though. Its noises don't echo. But a massive manticore. Wings occasionally stretching out before curling back down. Seems like this beast can't get comfortable here. I would say you'd be able to tell that it is not quite sleeping. Despite its lack of effort. Or not despite a lack of effort. Yeah.
So I'd say that I kind of snap back to it and just kind of and then I reiterate what you just told us, and I explain to the group that we have to be quiet, and just how it's not on its guard, but sneaking up on this thing. It's not asleep, so we need to move stealthily, methodically.
Is he fully descriptive?
I don't know. That's what I would say instead of saying, relaying. Say it in your own words. What do you say?
Deep into this cavern, this cave, there's a camp. Real quick, how far away from the camp was the manticore sleeping?
It's all in the
Like,
same
can we-
cavern.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if we're quiet, we can kind of look. Well, no, it's fine.
Maybe opposite side of the camp.
Okay. So deep into this cave, the manticore is trying to rest wearily. It's still on its guard, so we won't be able to fully sneak up. But if we're quiet and we move methodically past a camp littered with bones, we will find our prize.
So,
Well,
how deep is this stream that runs down there?
It's shallow, like maybe 2 feet at most.
Okay. So 2 feet, me as a dwarf could kind of lean forward on my chest and kind of slowly work my way down this stream without causing any clattering of my armor or anything as I kind of like crawl down this stream.
Theoretically, you're still moving in the armor.
True, but it's underwater.
That is true. I'll still give you the disadvantage, but I'll lower the DC. How about that?
You're the DM.
It's a meet in the middle kind of thing.
Exactly.
Can I stealth and try looking around?
yeah.
When you say, like, tell me what you're doing. What do you mean? Are you gonna go into the cave, or are you?
So I'm not gonna. Well, I'm gonna sort of go in. I'm gonna take the little story he told us and go in and look. And as a soldier, I'm gonna put my tactical mindset into what the situation looks like.
I think Adun kind of outstretches his hand and kind of stops Shad and says, he looks over at Han and he says, I understand that I was a bit of a dick earlier, but I think that you should take lead being a monk. And that I just think that you scouting ahead would benefit the party.
I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna say, this is fucking underground. Let the fucking drow take the lead.
Not the drow, the orc.
I think the fucking drow should take the lead.
How
That's-
about we both go?
Yeah, I think that you two would make the most noise, is all I'm saying, Baron.
Oh, I'm not taking the fucking lead. I think the drow should take the fucking lead.
And I think that I
I
turned to
just,
Shad.
I just start walking. I literally just start walking ahead while they're talking and take the lead.
That works. I noticed that they just start moving and I just follow suit.
Is Shad also moving?
Shad's
So
moving.
please don't roll until I ask for it, because it'll.
Sorry.
Because I don't know what's happening unless you say what's happening. So everyone but Baron's going forward. Then it seems like.
Again, Baron's gonna be about like the same as he was last time, probably 30 feet back, and he's gonna be laying down in the stream,
All right.
like kind of like crawling, like trying to float crawl, like down the stream behind them.
All right. As it's who's going in front? Is it Vic and Han in the front, or what?
I just I heard them bickering and I just was just like fuck this shit and then just fuck this shit and walked.
So Vic's going
Yeah, Han-
first, and then
Han just
Han,
immediately followed him.
then Shad,
And then I'm following behind.
as Baron sticks
Vic
30
and
feet
Han.
back. All right. I would like everyone to give me a stealth check then.
Oh, shoot.
And you mine's at advantage at this point, or
Yours is still disadvantage, but I will lower the
Disadvantage,
DC
right?
for you.
that's what it was. Yep.
All right. As you're heading down, I don't know how about you guys are traveling actually, other than Baron being 30 feet back. That 30 feet? No, you got a little more. As you're walking up, creeping, a dune occasionally bumping into the side of the walls here, splashing into the stream, as well as you would hear Baron trying his best, but occasionally you keep getting water in your mouth as you're doing this, coughing and spitting as you're trying not to choke on the water. As you're trying to, you're dampening the noise of your armor, but at what cost?
This is so great.
At what cost?
As you guys see the place ahead, this small camp, well, remnants of a camp. You would at the top of the bottom left corner see the stirring of a creature, massive in form, bristles and spines all over its backside, easily twice the size of the manticore that you had fought in the skies the night before, those of you that were there. And you would see... This is a good first time you get a good look at a manticore's face without it starting off in battle. There is something almost humanoid about it. Its face is... It has features of a human. The nose, not quite leonine. Its eyes, somewhere between feline and humanoid. Its face also isn't covered in fur, at least not as much of the rest of its body. But massive spines and massive wings sprawl out around. And we're going to roll initiative. As it does indeed see you. But as we roll initiative... Yes?
Well, I was just curious. I have, again, it doesn't say what it does, but I have Bless. I was just wondering if I was able to... I looked it up.
You
and
have
made
a feature for Bless, you don't have the spell Bless.
A feature for it? Okay.
So you have an effect, and that is for when someone casts Bless on you.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That is what that is. But as we roll initiative against this manticore, which unfortunately you don't get the jump on, that is where we will end tonight. As you have met the quarry. But at what
The big
cost?
fucker.
At what cost?
Nah, you guys will be fine. That is where we're going to end tonight, folks. So if you're watching at home, thank you for watching. And we will be back next time with more Princes of the Apocalypse and stuff of that nature. Manticore fun times. See you next week,
Night,
folks.
night, internet.
See you next Tuesday.